We're back with more Kids Speak Out Oregon talking about social media. And I'm wondering, at what age did you begin this? You're probably the youngest here.
Yeah.
When did you first start practicing social media?
When I was like 10. Almost when I was 11, like 10.
Yeah, so a full year you've been involved. And are you doing it every day?
Yeah, that's every day, but
How
not a
much
lot.
time do you spend?
Oh, like 2 hours is max.
Every day. Can you still get your homework in and
Yeah.
get to school and do everything else you have to do? Everybody else spend about that much time or more?
More.
More? What's the most that you
Like
think you
6
spend?
or 7 hours.
6 or 7 hours a day?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, while you're getting ready for school,
Yeah.
having breakfast,
My
in
average-
school? Do you ever do it in school?
No.
Yeah?
Well,
I do social media as my job, and so I'm on it for that. But because of that, I'm kind of less on it for myself.
Yeah? So
Yeah.
what do you do?
Well, I create posts. So if we have I work for an acting studio, acting for kids and teens in the Studio Northwest. If we have a workshop or classes, then I will create a graphic design of that and then share it and post about
Wow.
it.
Well, there are all kinds of jobs that young teenagers can have.
It's really nice
because
being
you
in
know how to do
college.
it. So tell me, what do you use it for mainly? Just to stay in touch?
Yeah.
So it's a really good tool to stay in touch with family and friends, or just to make plans and stuff. And over COVID, it was really just how you stayed in contact with the world, because there was not much to do inside the house all the time.
But you were going to school online, most of you, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so as soon as that was over, you jumped on another line, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Any bad things happen?
Yes.
Have you experienced
Yes,
anything?
yeah.
Tell us about it.
I mean, doom scrolling, and there's a constant kind of comparison to what other people's lives are that can't exist, and the glamorization of quote unquote influencers' lives, and just a constant comparison, I think, especially in young impressionable girls, to want to be more popular,
Wanna
skinnier.
look like something else. Yeah.
And is it from people who are selling something, or people who just want to influence the way you think?
Being an influencer has grown in popularity since the rise of TikTok, I guess.
Well, on TikTok, it's pretty easy to become an influencer and make money off that.
Yeah, people who don't have any authority getting online and telling other people how they should live their lives and what to do and how to eat and how often they should work out and how they should work out. And just doing that is really detrimental to young people's lives.
Yeah.
But it's a way of making money, right? Because if somebody's going to teach you how to do something, are they going to ask you to pay for it?
TikTok pays them, or the app that they use will typically pay them if they're there's a thing called being verified on TikTok, and it's at the point where you have so many followers and so much clout that they're gonna start paying you and giving you other companies are gonna start giving you
Benefits.
job offers, or you can influence a product. There can be a company that's gonna reach out to you and say, hey, can you post about this? And then
Wow.
Yeah.
So they follow, they must know how many viewers, or not viewers, but participants. What do you call the people who follow you on
Just
Instagram?
followers,
Or
really.
what are they called?
Followers.
Followers. So
Yeah.
somebody can register how many people are following them, and then put that online, and then people will come to you to pay you?
Yeah,
to-
kind of
to
the app will.
promote
So
things?
you continue to make content like that, but one thing that can be detrimental is there's this whole thing of couple talk, and so couples who are posting content that's very sweet and lovey, but they're not showing any of the negative of the relationship. And so when you are a young girl seeing that, you're that's what my relationship should look like, when really it's very complicated like that. So I feel everything on social media can be a highlight reel.
Yep.
And that's really hard, because you're comparing your life that has challenges and goes ups and downs and isn't perfect to a perfect life that isn't even perfect, because theirs isn't perfect either.
So do sponsors see something, notice that you are talking about something that they may want to sponsor?
yeah.
Do they
And
reach
just-
out to you? How do they get
Just
you?
because you're famous on TikTok or whatever doesn't mean that people will like whatever you're influencing.
Yeah.
Because if you're famous for something bad, then people won't want to buy whatever you're promoting.
Yeah.
I see.
But brands will kind of like reach out to influencers and ask them to make promotional videos for what they're selling.
Can you become an influencer?
Technically,
How do you do it? What do you do?
You just start posting videos.
And once you start getting more like attention, views, attention, brands will, or you can reach out to people, or brands will start reaching out to you.
Yeah.
And
the
Also have
sorry.
something to say, like some influencers can sometimes fake for their videos, and like some people can like see that, and then like they can like expose them, and they only do it for like money, so like people can follow them more.
How about you, Andarian? Have you been influenced? Or have you been an influencer?
No, I haven't, but I know like some of my friends and stuff, like they make music, or like, you know, just make their own clothing brand and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice tool for them to use.
Oh, well, it's a good way to market something, I guess, if you have something to market.
yeah,
It is a good like benefit to social media that you can display your product or brand. Like you were saying, like if you decide to start your own business, it's a very great way to like
promote it.
promote. Yeah.
Do you see any way to break the habit?
Yeah, I mean, just like deleting apps, or you can also set time limits on apps. I know I've found a way to get my way around time limits, but parents can like set boundaries for certain apps, or you can just delete them in general, or have limits for your phone.
Deleting them is challenging though, because there's such a pressure to download the app from other peers, I guess.
Because like ads and also stuff like.
Yeah. There's just such a pressure to get the apps in the first place, and then getting rid of them is a whole nother story.
Yeah.
What do you mean pressure to get the apps?
Well, you were saying something about how
Yeah, like it's like not cool if you don't have it, and so somebody's like, oh, like what's your Snapchat or what's your Instagram, and you're like, oh, I don't have that, and they're like, oh, you don't have, like you're not connected. And there's also a lot of trends that get set on social media, and so if you don't know the trend, then it's like, oh, you're like out of the loop, you're not cool.
Wow. See, Ellen, how many apps do you have on your phone?
I have like a lot.
A lot?
Yeah, and most of them are just social media.
Yeah. Well, tell me, what are some of the things you want to watch or hear or do?
Well, I just watch TikToks.
Just TikTok. So just that one app. Is that an app?
Yes.
Okay. But that's the only one that you engage
Well, I watch
with.
YouTube too.
Oh, you do? And what do you watch YouTube for?
I also watch it to like just see some other content that's not on TikTok.
I see. What kind of content are you usually looking for?
I don't know, just
Entertainment?
something funny. Yeah,
Entertainment? Anybody use it for learning?
the other
For
thing about,
education?
Photo math.
Not on the app.
the other thing about
should teachers kind of come up with something maybe to make it fun that you guys would get online to use
There's
an
like
app for?
Kahoot and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where it's like everybody can have like either like a Chromebook, or some teachers will even let you use your phone. But it's like they have like questions, or they can make like a quiz, but it's online and it has like music, and it's like can be like images of like animals or colors and whatever, and it just kind of makes it more fun. And sometimes people can take advantage of it, but most of the time it's like more fun than just like sitting in class and taking notes.
And it makes it a competition and a kind of game, so it's like something out of the ordinary that's
People think it's fun.
yeah.
The other thing I was going to say about TikTok is that they're more like shortened videos. So a lot of time people will move to YouTube or Netflix, like apps like that, so that you can get the full show or series, whatever it is. TikTok is more like you were saying, like highlights of people's life. So it's all the good. Like same with Instagram. There's no like.
So you use this to kind of expose yourself to the world. Are you worried at all about privacy? I think we talked about that in the beginning, but
It
is that
can be,
something?
but I think that if you restrict yourself, like giving yourself private accounts or not giving the app much information about yourself, then you can be safer. But the other thing about that is that your phone's always listening.
Yeah.
We did talk about that.
If we're talking about the privacy of like kind of like what we're posting, just being cautious of what you post and not posting like locations and really personal information that
About your family. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have something to say. Some people make like private accounts because like sometimes they might not. Other people may judge them for what they make, so they sometimes make private accounts, and like they only allow this to certain type of people to watch their videos.
Do you assume that people know where you are? When they, I don't mean specifically, but do you think they know you're in Oregon?
Well, with
And do you hear
Snapchat, you can choose if you want your location on or off, or you can choose like certain people to have your location. But some people don't know that that can happen. Like I knew a friend that didn't know you could control that, and she just had her location on for everybody that had her added. So they can see, like they can zoom in and see like your exact like street that you're on. So they can like see personal stuff if they want to. Yeah.
And how much control do your parents try to have over how much exposure you have to the world?
I think it's
Your-
hard for them to have much control because they didn't grow up the same way that we did. So
Do they come in and ask you, what are you doing right now? Who are you
Yeah.
talking to? Who is that?
Yeah.
And what do? Do you hide your phone?
no.
No? You let them see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They'll be a little bit nosy sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're not, but sometimes they can like kind of like I see them like in the car just like looking over at my phone, and I just like, it's not that I'm trying to hide anything. It's just like sometimes I'm talking to someone that I don't want them, not something that I don't want them to know about, but like just somebody else's private information that they don't need to know.
If it's a personal conversation, I think that we're allowed to set boundaries to a certain extent. Like obviously if your child is doing something dangerous like for themselves or for someone else, that's something that needs to be addressed. But I think that there's no harm in having boundaries if you're just
100%.
conversing with a friend.
Yeah.
Do your parents have any boundaries for you?
Yeah, they have boundaries on how much I use, how much screen time I use.
Yeah. Everybody else, parents telling you how much screen time you're allowed?
Yeah.
No. Yes? Well, yes and no. So, how about your parents?
When I was younger, yeah, because I'm 18 now, so my mom lets me use my phone freely. But when I was younger, she would make me and my little brother go outside like all the time. And then when we do go outside, we leave our phones inside so we can make sure we're enjoying our quality time together.
Yeah, I
So we
think-
wasn't always on our phone.
I think most parents want to see their kids moving around a little bit, getting some exercise,
Yeah.
It's
burning off
also
some
hard
energy.
when you feel like you're being forced to go out and do something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at staying out, with like sports and stuff. It's easier to not be on your phone as much in school. But I think that it's also hard for kids to go and enjoy their time outside when they're like, what do I even do outside?
Well, thank you very much, everyone. This has been great. Our panel has given us some good insights into the issue of social media, positive and negative, with artificial intelligence looming out there and post-COVID struggles to personally reconnect with others. Our consideration of social media plays an important part in helping us look at how to develop deeper relationships among each other. Our next episode of Kids Speak Out, Oregon, will take us on, or we will take on the issue of immigration and refugees. Please join us for that.